Thank you, Ritesh. Before I start, congratulations. I heard you become a father.
Thank you.
Excellent. And thank you for inviting. It's been a pleasure. This morning I woke up at 4 o'clock to come to this meeting and only to find about 20 people around. But that's the beauty. That's the beauty of our meeting. Anyway, before I start, see, this is nothing high-tech. You heard that beautiful lecture from Kshitij about statistics. I'm going to go very, very simple, okay? Now, this is something that I learned over the years. Now, when I was doing my fellowship with Richard Wheeler in Cambridge, there were few papers that I made for him. It was neatly supervised by him, and it was a fantastic experience. And I learned a lot. I learned a lot about not statistics, which is too complicated even for today, about submission of a paper. So I thought I should share that with you. Now, before we do, see, this is a paper that I submitted, my team submitted about 10 days ago to Journal of Orthoplasty, and I was out. I told them, I edited the main manuscript, gave it to my fellow, and I told him I need this to be submitted by this weekend. So I come back and I get this email from Journal of Orthoplasty. See this, it's fantastic. Can you, have you got a pointer here? Now, yeah, so I get this email from Journal of Orthoplasty saying that thanks for, you know, all that stuff. Then, these are the things they have not even touched. The Journal of Orthoplasty had given us a manuscript number, but they said, they sent the manuscript back saying, you have to submit this, please insert keywords after your abstract. See, those small things. And then saying, in abstract, you don't have these, you know, titles, you have not numbered the pages, look at this, and referencing. So these are the things which we overlook as senior surgeons or maybe as consultants. But you see, what is happening in the end is this has delayed the whole process by a few weeks, because this paper has come back to me. Now I will ask my fellow to go through that again. He will, if he is free, he will probably do it within the next 2-3 days, or it may take few days. So you know, we all know that when we submit a paper to get a review of that paper, we usually need about 4 to 6 weeks. So if this paper comes back, you lost that time, about 6 weeks. So I think it is very, very important that we identify some errors that we make when we submit a paper. So for convenience, I have actually put this as 10 common errors for this talk. So what happens is that, okay, I'm sitting with my fellows. On Thursday afternoons, I dedicate for research. I have 3 fellows, so I sit with them after my clinic, and I tell them, okay, there is this guy who has 3 projects with him. There's another chap who's got 2 projects. So each one heads a project. Then I ask them, how far have you gone? So then they tell me, sir, I've done the data collection, and the other chap tells me that I've done the first draft, all that. So then we see, okay, what are we trying to talk? What is this? Is that something of a new idea? Or is that a meta-analysis I'm doing? I think in the beginning itself, we have to be very, very clear in our thought process. So is this, like a previous speaker spoke very nicely about different types of projects. No, is that a case report? Is that a meta-analysis? Is that an expert opinion? Or is that a case series? What is it that we are talking about? I think it's very, very important that they understand. So what I do in my practice when a fellow joins, it's purely research fellowship. And I have these documents, these files, which I have published some years ago. And I send this to them before even they join my unit. And 1 month before, for them to go through the whole process of dealing with research projects. So as Kshitij pointed out, I think it was a very nice lecture. I mean, this is something that we need to learn again, but I'm blessed with a very good statistician from Tata Institute of Social Science in Mumbai, Chembur. So I don't really have to worry too much about statistics because he does a very good job for me. So I think then comes the issue of target journal. I mean, we'll have to be very, very clear in our mind when we are writing this article. So if, for example, if I'm writing something about hip or knee replacement, maybe I should be looking at Journal of Orthoplasty, or maybe American JBJS, or one of those orthoplasty journals. I think we have to be very, very clear in choosing the target journal. What is important is, I think we need to know whether that journal is indexed. If it's not indexed, it's waste of our time. I think there's no point in writing, unless you have a useless paper you just want to publish. But otherwise, you just have to make sure that you pick up a nice journal. I start with the journal with the highest, what is that called? Impact factor, sorry. Impact factor, and see, if it comes back, it's fine, no problem. At least I'll get some nice feedback from them, and I incorporate those review points to the next journal. So that is important. Then comes preparation of manuscript. I think this is not rocket science. It's written everywhere. What we need to do, we need to first of all go through instruction to authors. I ask all my fellows, take a printout of instruction to authors. Remember, there are occasions when you actually submit this, things may change. So obviously, when you look at the paper, this is the anatomy of a paper. We need to look at the abstracts, which should be done at the end of the project. By no means you're doing the abstract first. You finish off the project and you have some idea in your mind as to what is happening. It may be completely different to that what you started with. So abstract comes last, and it should not be more than 250 words. So then it comes to materials and methods, results and discussion and conclusion. So what we are looking at is, I think materials and methods usually are done well with statisticians. They give us good opinion about how to do it. When it comes to discussion, I tell my fellows that you follow SWOT analysis, SWOT, strength, weakness, opportunities and threat. It makes your job much, much easier. So you are looking at that project and you're looking at the strength, start off with the strength, then look at the weakness. What is it? Is that a small number project, small data, or is it a retrospective analysis, or whatever? And then you look at the opportunities and threat coming from that paper. Okay, so when that completes the anatomy of discussion. Now, this is, in my opinion, is a very, very important step. As I showed you in the previous slide, see, they have not actually looked at these points. Now, I did the editing. I didn't look at that area where, you know, they had not even inserted the page numbers. I didn't know, and they have not inserted the line numbers. Those are the things, you know, they didn't do, and the paper came back to me. Now, these days, I think vast majority of our submissions are through online. We have to, again, if you go through this online process, again, I highly recommend that you go to this page. This comes maybe, you know, the last couple of pages where it tells you about uploading the file. So I recommend that you make a folder on your desktop and see this, see the order of files. You start off with conflict of cover letter, conflict of interest. So if you have this in your folder, all of these in your folder saved on the desktop, then you start the online submission process, because you don't want to be lost in the middle of submission process. So I think, again, the order of files that you keep in your folder, title, conflict of interest, title page, blinded manuscript, references, tables and figures. Some papers, some journals ask for tables incorporated within the manuscript. Some ask for a separate file, and acknowledgements. Okay, so that is very, very important. There are occasions when you are asked to resubmit, which is good news. When people say that you get a letter from the editor saying you have been asked to revise, there is a very good chance that your paper may be accepted. And this is the time that you must give more attention to, because at this point, if you make an error, you have lost your paper. There is a good chance that your paper may be accepted, and you have to learn to write nice letter to the reviewers, response to reviewers. That's very, very important. And I have a format within my department, which I send that to my fellows, and they then fill up the page and send it. So you see, then comes the question of review process. Now, this is again very important. This paper, of course, is not accepted, but then it's so important, they've given us some ideas as to how to improve the paper. Now, they've also mentioned to me here in the end of the mail, saying Journal of Arthroplasty has another open access journal, which is called Arthroplasty Today. I don't know if you're aware of that. It's a new thing. And they have recommended that I submit this paper to open access, which is a good thing. And they have also recommended that I make some changes into this. So this is a good thing, and this is one of those things that we overlook. So I think in the end, these are the things that we should be looking at, 10 common errors. It's a very small talk, but I feel that when we start off with this, taking this research on our side, we must be looking at these small things which really make sense. Thank you very much for your attention. Now,
thank you, Vijay.
Hitesh.
Any questions from the audience?
So you had asked me to touch on which conference?
Yeah, actually Vijay wants to go back to Bombay pretty early, so we have a talk on how to select.
Yeah, so he had asked me to speak on how to pick up the conferences for your project, but really speaking, I think you should start with everything. And I was trying, what I do is I start off with local organizations. For example, in Mumbai, I send my papers to YROC, I send my papers to, if it's an arthroplasty paper, to ISHK and Indian Arthroplasty Association meetings, and I send everywhere at the same time, because what I am looking at is basically the feedback that I get from the audience. And if somebody from my unit is presenting, I make sure that I'm also there in the audience so that I get questions on these papers and we can go back and rectify when we are submitting it to a journal. So before we actually submit a paper to a journal, I think it is better to send these abstracts to national or international meetings, as many meetings as possible, whether it's small or big, it doesn't matter, because in the audience you might find somebody like Chitranjan Ranade asking you a question, or you might find somebody like Senthil. So you never know what you're going to get out of this audience. I think that's very, very important. So I don't think there is anything like which conference. I think you send it everywhere. This is my feeling, but it may differ from people to people. So there is no such thing as a good or bad conference. I think every conference is important. The conference may not be so important. People who come into the conference are important. They will give us the feedback, and that will make us much wiser to present these papers. Thank you.